you talking about? There's blatant Russian collusion from this bullcrap dossier that they got from Steele, who got it from shady Russians. I mean,
this all comes down once again. Why do they want the immigrants here? They don't want them to live in their backyard, like he says. They want them because they're votes. That's what this is all about. It's all about the votes.
This guy, Pete Davidson, is a piece of crap. He's a lowlife, left-wing, disgusting human being, if I can even call him that.
Who says that they don't want to be divisive. This is the one who wants the inclusivity and all that stuff, but yet they want to say that the MAGA hats is like wearing. All right, they can hear you now. Oh, what's up, Jake? You doing all right? How's you feeling? Biopsy. Yeah, usually Jake would be, somewhere around there where the blue screen's at. Yeah, so I got to pull up, let me pull up YouTube here. That way I can say hello to Rocky, because, whoa, oh. All right, start it over. You're live now. Okay, he's there now.
All right, I'm here now, man. Let me tell you, man, Rich does so much, and all I got to do is sit here. And for the first time, I can actually watch him because I'm not on camera. So I'm like, man, you work hard back there while I'm just sitting there. Anyway, welcome everybody. My name is Jake. This is my man, Rich, I've been talking about. I would be on camera right now, but if you didn't tune into the last broadcast about an hour ago, I had to go in and get a biopsy on a spot on my face that seems to not be healing. So I need your guys' prayers. I'm sure it's nothing. It's probably just squamous cell cancer, the lowest form of skin cancer. They did a biopsy. I have a big bandage on my cheek, so I will not be on camera. But Rich is going to hold it down. I'm here, and we're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about first, Rich?
Well, I don't know. You've been 2 weeks on the protest, so I guess we'll talk about that. And hey, Rocky's joined me over there. He keeps me company on YouTube. Thank you, Rocky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me tell them also that we are live on Periscope, YouTube, Twitch, and DLive. Now, on DLive and Twitch, we are Total News Network, which is my main page. So I have to decide whether I'm going to change the name to Vantage Point or I'm going to make Vantage Point's own accounts on Twitch and DLive. I'll let you know. But on Periscope and YouTube, we are Vantage Point USA. And I need you guys to do me a favor. Not now, but in the next 2 seconds. Go over to YouTube if you have a YouTube thing and subscribe. We are trying to get to 500 today subscribers, and I think we're almost there. The last I checked, we were like 5 or 10 off. So that'd be cool. Appreciate you guys, man. So the first thing, I don't know, you have any videos that we're pulling up, Rich?
I don't know. I can't. I got this one. I got that one back when you came to visit me up in North Carolina, and you and Hillary came up. I'm going to leave that up so people can actually see what you look like, and so I throw that up there.
Oh, God.
But don't.
Full disclosure, this is not a picture I approve.
No, I do not endorse this picture, but So how's it been? I mean, I wake up at 6:30 in the morning. I look at my tablet and it says that the scope cut out like 40 minutes. I'm like, man, he was up all night again.
Yes. So people in the chat are asking, where's Jake? I'm not on camera because I got a biopsy on a little spot on my face, so I have a huge bandage. But yes, Rich is correct, and most of the people just joining, we've been up all through the night, starting at like 8, 9 on the East Coast. and go until what, 5, 6 in the morning, like
Yeah,
ridiculous marathon. Having a lot of fun. Missing you because I know you'd be right there with us, but somebody has to pay the bills,
that's right. That's right.
right? So
So you were on just shortly ago with the statue. Said they were trying to tear old Abraham down, huh?
yeah. So earlier, if you didn't catch the broadcast, they were trying to threaten to take down the Lincoln statue, the one where the slave is kind of on his knees and he's like thanking
Right,
to be free and everything. But obviously, the left wing mob doesn't like it and they want to tear it down. So we
right,
showed that real quick. And like I say, if a mob on the right wanted to do something, I'd be just as mad as a mob on the left. That, we cannot have mob mentality here. Just because you decide that statue should come down, well, maybe a mob of people will decide that every Obama statue has to come down if, God forbid, they ever made one, or a Martin Luther King statue needs to come down. I mean, you cannot have mob rule
right.
because you may like it now, but one day it's going to be something you like when the mob moves in to take it down. It's not cool.
Yeah, when I was watching the stream that you had up there, and whoever said it, I was trying to pull it up. I can't find out who to give him credit, but yeah, they were talking about the Lenin statue in Seattle. And
Oh,
yeah, the leader of the Bolshevik Revolution, the father of Marxism, Leninism, and credited for mass killings. Why is that statue up in Seattle?
oh
Why,
yeah.
why mass killing? Why is that? So whoever brought that up, thanks for reminding me about that because excellent point on that. Excellent point.
Yeah. No, yeah. And you know what's crazy, Rich, and everybody? They want to take down what's his name? Gandhi. Now they're going after Gandhi statues
Wow.
because supposedly he was messing with children or something. I don't know, some crazy thing. Like these people, they're just not going to stop. These are anarchists. They're the same Occupy Wall Street. Right now, there's a huge Occupy City Hall in New York City, and they're not leaving. They said until De Blasio and Cuomo, I call them Heckle and Jekyll or frickin' frack, until they defund the police by $1 billion, and they're not leaving. I mean, it's sad that this movement was taken over. The George Floyd movement was instantly taken over by left wing anarchists, Soros bots, minions, and now they're out there, just causing
What?
all kinds of hell.
Yeah, one to defund the police. That like that Steve Fletcher, that third ward. I just have to reread what he had said. Let's see. We already pushed for pilot programs, so they want to go ahead and dispatch EMTs to opioid overdose calls without police officers. We have similarly experimented with unarmed community-oriented street teams on weekend nights downtown to focus on de-escalation.
Yeah.
We could similarly turn traffic enforcement over to cameras and potentially our parking enforcement staff rather than our police department, which I think is really funny when the parking people pull over a guy who's got 3 keys of cocaine in his car and blows him back into his little cart they drive. I don't think
Yeah.
that, and I found it really funny. I maybe it was last night's stream where the security guy or whoever came by and said down this road or down this street that there were reports of a long gun on top of a building, and
Yeah.
some girl on there made the comment, well, I guess the cops are going to do anything to help us. I guess we'll have to look out for ourselves. After you just are trying, after you sit there
Yeah.
shouting them down for hours upon hours, cussing them,
Yep.
throwing things at them, and now you want to call out for them, it just boggles my mind.
Well, not only that, I got something even crazier. They're actually blaming the death of the guy that was shot in Chaz, known as Chop and now known as Flop. They're blaming that the cops didn't go in and the cops didn't let the EMT go in. And even the guy that was shot that lived was in his hospital bed, taking advantage of the cop hating movement and blaming them for not going in. Well, so what do you want? You want the cops or you don't want the cops? You want your own city? You want to be autonomous or you don't? Make up your damn mind. They're
Yep.
never happy. And they're not going to end until they ruin everything about America. They hate this country. They feel it was built on hate and racism and slavery. And I have one question: what the hell are you doing here then?
Yeah, I was
You're
about
not gonna, I mean, that's the past. We've changed. People make mistakes. They're the first ones to tell you, "Oh, don't judge a guy let's talk about George Floyd. Don't judge him just because he was in jail twice for in prison, and then
Right.
he robbed some woman, held her at gunpoint while she was pregnant.
Right.
But you got to believe in forgiving people. But okay, so you can't forgive America for their past. I think we've come a long way. You
Yeah.
know,
And I think it was Morgan Freeman who made the statement that if you want to get rid of it was on some talk show, some interview he was doing. He said, "You want to get rid of racism? Quit talking about it. Quit,
right?
keep throwing it in people's faces because you just keep the wound fresh," which I think is actually what they want to do in a lot of cases anyway. That gives them the self justification to enable themselves to feel entitlement and to do half of the things that they're doing. So yeah,
Well,
and
yeah.
oh, by the way, like we mentioned on the other show, 1 million people come here every year, trying to get into this country. If it was so racist,
Right.
why would people come here or try to come here by the droves? So yeah,
Well, of course. Well, and then you got people like Al Sharpton and that one attorney that was representing George Floyd, who want racism to exist.
right,
They're the last people that want racism to go away.
right.
Those are race profiteers, and I don't know why they continue to have Sharpton, represent them. The guy is the worst. I'm seeing on chat here a couple of people. Revolution Streams says police are slave chasers, and he typed in caps so everybody can see his comment. And we do welcome free speech here, by the way. You will not get blocked if you're a Democrat, Republican, gay, straight. You will get blocked if you are racist and being clearly racist, not like a gray area because everything's racist now, right?
Right.
Or if you make threats, you will be blocked. Other than that, Rich really believes in it more than I do that we should have debate and open discussion.
Oh, I wish, yeah, I wish we had a Zoom thing where we could just sit there and debate. I love debating. So yeah, but
Well,
no,
that's funny that you bring that up because when you weren't on the stream and I had several trolls come on, I offered them to send me a direct message and to come on Zoom and first show the world what you look like. I would just have loved to see that, and not that looks that matter, but usually these are just like basement dweller like scabs, and to come
pale and
on
pasty.
camera and debate me. Yeah,
Yeah,
come on camera and debate me, and not one of them took me up on it. Of course, not one
right.
would. They actually left after that. So
Yeah, so let's talk about the censorship going on with Trump's tweets for a second. So let's see, I'll put this up here. So this was the tweet that he put up there. Obviously, now at first they were going to take it down. I can't stand back and watch this happen to a great American city, Minneapolis. A total lack of leadership. Either the very weak radical left mayor Jacob Fry get his act together and bring city under control, or I will send in the National Guard and get the job done right. These thugs are dishonoring the memory of George Floyd. I won't let that happen. Just spoke to Governor Tim Walz and told him that the military is with him all the way. Any difficulty and we will assume control, but when the looting starts, the shooting starts. So
yeah, yeah,
and
that's a tweet from a while ago, right?
yeah, I don't have the date on it, but it was also followed up by another one that they've had more recently that they censored, and now they put it up because they think that, well, maybe the public should know. Yeah, public should know. I mean, it's not like an empty threat, but to say that he
Right.
has to be censored, that the leader of the country that is talking to criminals or directing a tweet to criminals and saying stop criminal activity or we will
Right.
pursue justice means I don't know. It's just what do you think, Twitter? Do they deserve
Oh
the protection that they have?
no,
Because if you're going to pick his tweets and you're going to let all the other ones run free,
right.
what?
No, I think they should. First of all, it's amazing to me that you got Antifa sites and you got Muslim terrorist sites. Don't ever get a warning under their tweet. Don't ever get shut down. Never.
Right.
And then you're going to go after Trump. So either go after nobody or go after everybody. How
Yep.
about this? They always put disclaimers for fake news. How come all of the mainstream media and all of the so-called news analysts haven't had their page removed or put a disclaimer for fake news about the whole fake Russia collusion thing that we proved.
Right.
It's just one sided. We know it's one sided. A lot of people moving over to Parler, Parler. I have an account there. I don't think Vantage Point has an account there. I'll have to check. But a lot of people are moving over there, and so that's the answer. I don't really like government control, but I don't like that they're hiding under that one law when they first started that more about whether they're a publisher or not. They seem to use it when it benefits them.
And that's the point exactly. Do they enjoy that protection under the law for the stuff they allow to go and then not be held accountable for the things they squish? So yeah. Anyway, but I don't know.
Yeah,
It's I would like to point out one thing that I called when we were talking on the show last week. I said, watch some teams going to pick up Kaepernick now, and there's rumors now starting around. Now, obviously, for those of you who don't remember who Kaepernick is, Kaepernick received significant, anyway, his statement, not going to stand up and show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color. And that was his comment. So now the rumor is that there is an NFL team that is thinking about picking him up. And I said, it's not going to be because he has any talent. It's going to be because they want the publicity, because it'll bring. Right. I mean, back in November of 2019, anybody who remembers when he did the tryout, it was lackluster. People said he had a pretty strong arm, but his accuracy was so-so. Definitely not NFL caliber as far as a starting quarterback. So, man, are you really just going to pander and throw this guy on a team?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, really,
yes.
Just because you want the media attention?
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been pandering, bro. This is the year of hate America and hate police, and it's spread so far and wide on this false narrative that they're pushing. And it's not that Kaepernick just kneeled; he also wore socks with pigs on them.
Right.
He also wears a Fidel Castro shirt, a murdering lunatic.
Right.
That's who he picks. You know what I mean? So the guy, he's just another attention-seeking. You know what? And I want to say horror. That's what I meant to say. So people don't think when I said, it's the N-word or anything.
Right.
But it's, I don't think any team's going to pick him. Maybe he'll play for the Cuba Nationals. Maybe that's about it.
Yeah, it's getting out. Did you hear about that guy, Scottsdale, that councilman who actually apologized? Now, in Scottsdale right now, it's probably, I don't know, I think it was supposed to be like 115 degrees this week. So this guy, Guy Phillips, apologizes because he said, I can't breathe at an anti-mask rally. He said it was a stupid and insensitive comment that I shouldn't have made, and I had no intention of disrespecting anybody. Are you really going to apologize because you got an N95 mask on and you make the comment in 115 degrees that you can't breathe, and then you're going to apologize? I would have just clarified, guys, I can't breathe. This mask is stifling. And, I know that when I'm wearing one, even working around the house wearing one. So it's just really crazy. And don't forget, how long ago was it? See if I could pull up this one here. Remember when they got rid of these, how Gucci deeply apologizes for the offense caused by the wool. I don't even, Balaklava, whatever, jumper. We can confirm that the item has been immediately removed from our online stores. We considered that. So they're apologizing because they made this outfit, which just basically looks like abstract art. I don't think that there was anything. And then don't forget when Katy Perry had to give up her Katy Perry shoes that evoked blackface. She's been accused of being racially insensitive. But yet we didn't hear any outcry about the Trump shoe that they put out there. Obviously. No, actually, I just made that. There is actually no Trump shoe, but I thought that'd be cute. But there is a pale color of that shoe without the wig, of course. So so it's just really anything you say is going to be insensitive, and pretty soon it's going to be a hate crime. And how far does it go?
Well, you see what happened to Jimmy Kimmel. He was, I guess, caught with blackface or something, but you don't see the left screaming for him to be removed or to boycott his advertisers.
Right.
There's such a double standard of hypocrisy by the left. Um, and there's a guy in here that's been, sticking with all the George Soros talking points, and all the CNN talking points, saying, all cops are the problem or whatever. They don't do anything good. Tell that to the people that they pull out of cars that are on fire, that got in an accident, and just countless and millions of heroic acts, which probably a troll behind a keyboard would never even have the balls to do. But
Man,
it's easy to just get on here and type,
I
your stupidity.
yeah, and I know in most of the inner city in Detroit and other inner cities that are pretty run down, I know that the citizens that live there, the residents that have lived there for years,
Right.
actually really enjoy when the cops are around as far as
Yeah.
from a feeling of safety because they feel that at least for that brief moment in time when there's a police presence, an authoritative presence, that there may not be crime going on at that. Maybe their kid gets home from school without getting shot or accosted. So,
Right.
yeah, I don't believe even among the black community that they would say, yeah, we want cops gone. I mean, obviously, and once again, what happened to George Floyd, no one deserves to die like that. That was a horrible thing. But
Yeah.
it's not the norm. It's not the norm. And for
No.
every isolated case of police brutality or racism that you could find on a police force, man, do we really want to go over racial crimes? I
Right.
don't. I don't think so. So
Well, they only put on what fits the narrative, and I don't think this country is as racist as they make it out to be. I know that cops are not racist like they say, and
right.
it's funny how they don't cover, over Father's Day weekend, 100 people shot, 14 killed,
Yep.
one 3-year-old black child. No outrage, no looting,
Yeah.
no protesting, no nothing, nothing. But you're going to pick out isolated incidents, just like Revolution Streams here, who's just a Soros talking point puppet, and just spit out the isolated incidents and put them so it fits your narrative. But you won't talk about the the black on black crime, how many whites are killed by cops. You
Right.
won't talk about just Father's Day weekend alone in Chicago, and all the millions and thousands of great deeds that police do every single day, to do that. And then he's going to come on here and say the mainstream media is the ones dividing us. I think every one of your single comments on my page and Rich's page right now doesn't look like it's unity
Right.
for anybody. It looks like just troll behavior, CNN talking points, and division.
Yeah. I mean, I saw
So
somebody.
yeah.
Yeah, and everybody's talking about all lives matter. How about unborn lives? How they matter too? And where's the outcry about that? I mean, the talking points fall deaf after they're not backed up with actions that are peaceful and productive. I mean,
Yeah.
we get what you're saying. You're saying that the protesters are saying Black Lives Matter, and that's awesome. And if you're doing it peacefully, say it as much and as loud as you want to. So,
Absolutely.
but now let's get to the point of what are the constructive ideas that are realistic, that are going to work in a common society that you feel need to be done, and not just pointing at everybody and saying every one of you is a racist, you're unredeemable, you were born as to be
Yeah.
racist, and you're never going to be anything but racist, because that's not what I get when I interact and in my business tons of times with beautiful black people that help pay.
And all people of color. I know that
Yeah.
this is what they want you to think. This is what they want you to think is going on. And the one guy in here is saying, "You better hope that the protesters win because they're doing it for me too." That's funny. For 2 weeks, I've been hearing this one black girl on a megaphone talking about all white people to the front, if they're going to try to block a highway. You got segregated farms going on in Chaz Chop, known as Flop. Last night, there's a clip that somebody clipped off of the show talking about that white people need to ask permission. They can't just protest the way they want. They need to ask a black person for permission, and they'll let them know how they can protest. I mean, I heard more racism coming out of black mouths for 2 weeks than I've ever heard in my entire life, actually.
Yeah, and I see somebody that had chatted about, is this guy going to help people? Number one, I won't even talk about that except to direct you to the last show. And I don't know where you're coming from on that, but we talked about last show about the founder of Planned Parenthood, Sanger, the lady
Yeah,
who founded it, and the fact that of the abortions in the black community, 50% of the pregnancies in the black community are aborted, and most of them through Planned Parenthood, of course. And this is the same lady in Planned Parenthood who called black people human weeds. Made that comment. The
right.
same lady that started Planned Parenthood that speaks at KKK rallies. So before you allow somebody to enable you to destroy a life in your community, you better find
Yeah,
out what their actual agenda is and what they're
right.
doing, because it may be a little more nefarious than what you're thinking. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes. And yes, credit to Kim Evans, who took the video I showed last night and chopped it down to just that girl talking about that white people need to ask permission, that you don't have a right to protest the way you want. They have to approve how you protest. Dude, go on my Twitter on Vantage Point USA or Just Jake 357. You won't believe what you heard.
wow.
Don't forget, these are the people that said every white person needs to pay $10 to every black person inside Chaz. There's somebody in this stream saying that the cops are the ones that are doing all the problems in or the feds are the ones causing problems in Chaz. Actually, no, it was a gang turf war. But you can go with the conspiracy theory. Next, he'll be spitting out that the Earth is flat, and 5G is making us turn into Martians. So I mean, I can't even deal with this guy right now.
Well,
So
I think the police, under the leadership of the town itself, have been insanely tolerant of what all's been going on there. The appropriation of that's taxpayer property. Okay, taxpayer money paid for the road. Taxpayer money keeps up the area that they are actually sitting in, that park that they're sitting in, and they've
right.
allowed the
Well, they
occupant.
were sitting in. They
Worse,
all
yes,
left.
they all left. Yes,
Yes.
but they misappropriated that property and were tolerated for a very long time, even though the protests weren't that peaceful. So yeah, the time was going to end. They couldn't do it indefinitely. You can't claim squatters' rights because you are sitting in a city street. Now, if you would go back, if they would go back and clean up all the graffiti they put on the walls of buildings they don't own, and fix them.
How dare you?
I
How
know,
dare you?
I know.
It's not graffiti. It's street art, man.
Okay, buy your
Yeah,
own,
that's what they say.
pave your own street, and then
Right.
paint it, and no one's got a problem with that. No one's
Right.
got.
Right. Street art? Really? F the police and everything
Yeah,
else, and it looks like crap. That's
yeah.
what you call street art? I mean, I
Well,
guess.
beauty's in
I
the eye
guess.
of the beholder. You don't know that, but the words, yeah, they don't
Right.
scream peace and solidarity.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah. So I'll probably go live later on tonight
okay.
and cover some madness, some craziness. I'm glad you guys are getting to see Rich. He's been working like double time to keep his business afloat, and so I've been holding it down over here. But I can't wait to get back on camera and look at you guys. And I'm trying to be more patient with trolls and just realize that this is what they do. So
Yeah. Yeah. But one of the things, just to kind of end it online, I was flipping through a thing. This is one of the problems with America right here. There is no moral message, right? This is what they give us. They were talking about COVID. Now, I will say that this is a city. You wonder why you have problems. This is on Bournemouth Beach. Thank God it's not in this particular country. But look at the thousands packed side by side by side. So
yeah,
anyway, I picked up this article here. It says you really need to wear a face mask while having sex with strangers. I was
oh,
like, not that you need to abstain from having sex with strangers or
right,
anything. Wear a mask or turn
right.
around or whatever.
Like you're not gonna get anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
you
a
know,
stranger, people. A mask
right,
will not protect you from everything. You may not
right,
get COVID, but you may get something else you can't get rid of. So, yeah,
exactly. So Della is saying good to see you both, and I'm sorry. I hope they try something stupid in DC. It's crawling with National Guard now. Please ask Rich his thoughts on the reform bill. your thoughts on the reform bill. Kim Evans wants to know, Rich.
Okay, so obviously this is a work in progress. Okay, we'll go point by point because I told him, I said, when the legislation is brought out in all its forms, we're going to do a show on that. So I'm going to hold that for that, so that we have that show coming up, because we had already talked about that, as far as the benefits, the pitfalls, how it can be bastardized into something that may not be good, and how it can be made better. So we will cover that. But thank you.
I don't know if Della's being funny, but she said, Jake, you never looked better. I don't know if she realized that's you on. Oh, maybe you're showing a picture of me.
No, but I'll go back to that. Hold on.
No, this is Rich on screen, but thank you. He's my stunt double.
No, I was about to say, now this is Jake. This was when he was not on, when he's not as conservative as he is now. This was back in what year was this, Jake?
I can't see the broadcast.
Oh,
so I'm not watching it.
It's when Hillary picked you up at the airport here in North Carolina. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I can't even imagine what you're showing right now.
But anyway, guys, we appreciate you coming out tonight. You could have been anywhere. You picked here. We don't take it for granted. We thanks a lot. I mean, all the opposing views. Here's the thing: one planet. We're going to live here together, and yeah. So there'll be a resolution to this. I have no doubt. Obviously, it's worldwide. It's going to be, and I love people of color. But I don't either pick to love them or not love them because of their color, because I've met some I don't like, and I got a ton that I love. And yeah, matter of fact, what was it? I'm old. So what, through 83 to 87, I had a black roommate. Loved it. Had a great time. So I don't want to hear about the fact that I'm racist. That, what apartment complex I'm talking about too.
Yeah. When I moved from New York, man, we had Latino, black, white. We had a tight group, man. I love all people, man, and I don't think the world is what they're saying. But one thing I want to do before we get off real quick.
Okay.
So, people, I want you to know something. My boy Rich here on camera right now is very reserved. He was anti-social media, anything, before 2 years ago. I told him, I said, Rich, I do this show online, and we've been friends forever. I go, I want you to come on, and we're going to do a show together. He's like, yeah, right. That ain't never happening. And I'm like, no, you'll do great. Because he's got so much knowledge. He's like really got knowledge on so many things. You know me, I say my things in the, Brooklyn street language, and he can actually use words I can't spell. So then I've convinced him to go on camera, which he did great on, as you guys can see. So tonight, he was a little hesitant. He's like, yo, where's my boy? You're not coming on camera? I'm like, no, I'm all busted up. And I'm like, you got this. So if you guys right now could throw up a bunch of hearts, thumbs up for Rich, how good is he doing on solo, on camera, and he got it. He's holding it down, man. Plus he does all this crap behind the scenes. I can't ask for a better wingman here. And I love this guy to death. And I love all you guys for tuning in.
Well, it's really been enjoyable watching the streams, watching the comments. Like I said, there's some really cool people that are out there in this world, and it's good that they find each other. So yeah, keep watching, guys. Love it. And as far as the COVID thing, it's real for the people it's real for. It's real for the people at risk. And we will beat this. We'll get through this. They'll get the therapeutic. People won't be scared to go out. And until then, we will see you later, okay?
Check you out.
Yeah, I'm going to try the outro. It never works, but we'll try.
I would like to begin with a poem in old-fashioned meter. Be good to us, and we will be good to you. Be good to us, and we will be good.
Oh, thank you for the hearts, guys. Thanks a lot. Take care.
I would like to begin with a poem in old-fashioned meter. Be good to us, and we will be good to you. Be good to